Hello, horror fans, and welcome to the first ever React episode of Silver Screams. Today, we are reacting to the Purge election year.
I'm happy in a horrifically visceral way.
Well,
happy.
On the one hand, because for those of you who don't know, The Purge is a horror series that took the relatively interesting premise of one night of crime a year
And made it boring as shit.
and turned it into a standard home invasion movie where, unlike You're Next or The Strangers, just didn't care.
But evidently the second one was better. I've not seen it, I can't say, but I heard that it executed on the premise much more.
I heard it still wasn't great though, and I went and saw The Purge opening weekend, and then when The Purge 2 came around, I didn't bother.
So now we've got The Purge 3.
Oh boy.
Election year. So let's get this party started.
Let's get this party
Played a lot of Purge games this evening. We have just one more. It's called Mommy's Choice. Which one of you will survive this year's Purge?
The soul of our country
You!
is at stake. The Purge targets the poor and the innocent.
The senator's going to win. She's going to make real changes, too.
It is a night that is defining our country.
It's time to do something about that senator.
The Purge has to come to an end.
You take a lot of risks, Senator.
I have to. I was the only one in my family to survive. What made you apply for this position?
I almost did something on Purge night some years back.
Don't
I
trust
want to
him, he
thank
works
her.
for Hydra.
I want men in all these rooms. We got eyes and ears on everything.
Why are animal masks so popular?
They're dehumanizing.
See, that's
Your
more
emergency
creative.
broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual Purge.
Okay, president's masks
At the
makes a little more
siren,
sense.
all crime, including murder, will be legal for
And now
12
bloody
hours.
masks.
Porky
Your
pig.
government thanks you for your participation.
Someone betrayed us.
You don't
Not
say.
a drill.
And then they fall in love. Although, wouldn't it be interesting if he was the traitor? Like he sold her out from the beginning.
Survival.
Senator, come with us.
Come with me if you want to live.
Stay tuned.
Maybe it's our duty to help protect her.
Here they come.
Keep America free. So this is what's going to happen when Trump becomes president, right?
Why did you say when?
Because this takes place in a dystopian future.
Blessed be America for letting us purge and cleanse our souls. Join me as we eliminate
I feel like this trailer's giving way too much. Right?
Just remember all the good the Purge does.
And it's always over 4th of July weekend. What I'm most surprised at is that they took a year off. In all honesty.
Did they?
Yeah, I don't think they released one last year.
Yes,
But-
they figured, okay, if we're going to continue
Either
doing this, we
that-
have to actually capitalize on this premise.
Either I would have to double check what year the second Purge came out, but like either that or like these movies are just so uninteresting that one came out last year and I just didn't notice.
No, there's only been 2 so far. I will say that I didn't know that this was coming out until the trailer dropped, and I saw people talking about it on Twitter, and then it was like,
I still feel like this one gave away too much because we have our 3-act structure presented in the trailer. It's them in the house, then them on the run, then her getting captured and the inevitable
church.
rescue. I still think it'd be interesting if he was the one that sold her out.
yeah.
And if like the whole reason he's trying to get her out of there is because somebody else paid him, was like, no, you deliver her to us. Everybody else is going to want a piece of her. We want it and we'll pay for it.
probably.
I think that'd be interesting. Predictable trailer, but interesting.
I kind of like what they did with the premise for this one, that she's a senator who's up for election who wants to get rid of the Purge. Because I keep thinking of the nostalgia critic. The Purge works! Why? The Purge works!
It just works.
It just works.
Don't
Yeah, sure,
question
okay.
it. It works. But yeah, because that means that it's not just the anarchists and the people who capitalize on like the chaos who are after her. It would be the people in power who want things to stay the way they are.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting twist. But to me, this looks like it's
just
the
Tea Party.
It looks like it's just putting 1 and 2 together. Because 2 was all about being on the run, and 1 was all about being in the house.
I get the feeling that they're not going to be in the house for super long.
Yeah, I appreciate the idea that it's a senator, but as I kind of stated over and over again at the very beginning of this, it's not that I dislike the actress. It's just that the actress who plays the senator played a character on Lost. And it's not necessarily resting...
That's your bias.
It's not like resting bitch face per se, but her normal face has this very subtle smirk to it. So throughout all of Lost, she always had this kind of sort of subtle, I know something you don't know grin, and it drove me crazy. So like, she'd be sitting there and it's supposed to be like she's supposed to be hiding her emotions, but it always came off as like this subtle smile, and I'm like, what are you smiling about? So on a show that took 7 years to reveal not even all of its secrets. Oh, I might be rooting for the Purgers on this one. I know that's horrible, and I'm so sorry. I don't dislike the actress. I just hate the character she played.
At this point, I think it's a video of just me reacting to you.
Yeah, I feel terrible. I'm a terrible person. Anywho,
the way you were reacting, I'm like, was she in the previous movies? That's not Lena Headey.
No, I just hate her character. But anyway, long story short, it looks like it's just going to be more of the same.
Yeah.
It looks like it's just going to be more of like decent premise, not great execution.
Well, let's be real. Every time we've had some form of Halloween horror franchise where they're like, we'll release one every year or every other year. Here's our premise. 8 different times. Our premise is puzzles and torture porn. Our premise is hauntings caught on camera. Our premise is a night of murder. It's just
a night of legal murder.
A night of legal murder.
Yeah,
it's the horror franchise. The 1 a year horror franchise, rather, where you take it and
That's so weird that that's a subgenre now.
It's less a subgenre and more a pattern.
Yeah, it's just, there's a problem and this goes back to even before the slasher films of the 80s. This goes back to like Universal horror movies where like they would put out like sequel after sequel after sequel because that's the way the studio system worked then.
Bride of Frankenstein, etc., etc.
This is nothing new, but I feel like the 2000 era of these types of movies, it's exhausting. I don't know how people felt about them back in the 40s and the 80s, but this is just exhausting.
The 40s and the 80s, nothing in between.
Nothing whatsoever in between.
Anywho,
I think that there's not really much more to say about this one.
No, not really. And the Chromecast just kicked us off, which means that,
Yeah, we've been talking for a bit. Okay, so let us know what you guys thought of the trailer, and let us know what you thought about this reaction video, because this is the first time we've done one for Silver Screams. So yeah, let us know what you guys think. Katie, where can people go if they want to find you?
On Twitter at Kiaxet, Kiaxet.
And I'm Megan. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TheMenguin. That's TheMenguin. Be sure to follow Silver Screams on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Silver_Screams. And let us know what else you'd like us to react to. Anywho, thank you guys.
And possibly rant about.
Anywho, thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you all next time.